Why have I kept this? Goodbye. I really wanted this to work. I'm here to tell you that there's no such thing as decluttering too early. Everything that I declutter today is one less thing I have to declutter tomorrow. One more thing to the pile.
A palace of gold, gold, gold. A palace of gold, 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 gold.
Well, hey everyone, it's Natalie. So glad you stopped by my channel for today's video where we are going to declutter and do a bit of tidying around my entire house. We just came out of the holiday season, so there's definitely some extra bits and bobs around this house. Let's hear it for the first messy to minimal video in 2022. If you're new here, that series is linked in my description box. I have hours upon hours upon hours of decluttering content for you guys if you enjoy that sort of thing. In 2 years time, I decluttered my entire life and we got rid of close to 90% of our stuff. And just because we're in a bigger house now doesn't mean that we want to just fill it up with a bunch of stuff in the extra spaces and nooks and crannies. We definitely want to continue to have a simplified life for our family. And today's the day I'm gonna tackle the whole house. Let's go. Quick embarrassing tour of my house. It is an absolute wreck. I have tried to stay on top of daily stuff like laundry and dishes and stuff like that, so you won't see that in this video. I've got stuff over here. The boys earned their screen time today, so we're using that right now so that mommy can film and declutter. Bedrooms are a bit messy. Guest bathroom is not so bad. Pantry is an absolute wreck. The boys' bedroom actually isn't too bad, but definitely could use a little bit of work. My bedroom is kind of a heap, especially on Weston's side, not naming names, but I mean, that's just the reality of it. I keep it real around here. And if you guys think I just threw my husband under the bus, wait till you see my office. It's bad. It's like real bad. So we are gonna start at one end of the house and work through to the other end. Today, maybe today and tomorrow, we'll see how long this takes me, but I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and get started. I'll be honest with you guys, the task of decluttering my whole house definitely feels a bit daunting, especially because I have never done an entire house declutter session since we've moved into this new house. And a lot of these things, they just don't have homes, or I've let bad habits creep back in. And of course, the holidays makes it that much harder when you have extra stuff and junk around your house to take care of. So I've actually had to go back and kind of retrain my brain and to think of the tips that I've shared with you guys in my past videos that have really helped me. And I was actually able to compile my top 5 tips for quickly and very effectively decluttering your house into a blog post. If you guys saw my video from last week, then you know that I announced I am behind the scenes working to put together a website for you guys where I will have blog posts and printables, and I'll be able to share all the extra content that I'm not able to make videos around. For those of you who sign up for my email list, I have that blog post ready to send to you, and part of that blog post is actually a free printable, so you guys can print out these 5 tips and keep them on the forefront of your mind if you are going around and doing some decluttering. I know I have been keeping these principles in my mind, and it was really great to be able to put this blog post for you as sort of a sneak peek of what is to come when my website fully launches in early 2022. I can't wait for that, and for those of you who are waiting, I have this to share with you. So there's a link in my description box where you can sign up for the email list, and I'll be sure to send that blog post to you when you do. Don't pay attention to the girl behind the curtain. Hello.
Hello.
We are looking much better in here. Quick rundown. I just went through each drawer and found the stuff that I no longer need. Did a quick little tidy and reorganization. I'm not like vacuuming out little bits of hair or like makeup powder in there right now because it's not a cleaning day, it's a decluttering, organizing day. And this is like my hair products drawer. I've got some hair ties and bobby pins. I would like to get a little organizer in here, kind of like the one that I have here for this drawer, but I'm not going out and buying new organizers organizational stuff for this project. I'm just using what I already have. I've got some curling irons and hair tools in here. I did get rid of one of them that had died on me. So that freed up room. This is just my essential oils drawer, which needs a better system of organization, but I'm not doing like fine-tuning organization today. I'm just doing the quick stuff that I can do. Underneath the sink, looking better. Got rid of the stuff that I no longer use, need, or stuff that was just like packaging. I found this, which is my Invisalign course that I went through over the last 9 months. I am done with my Invisalign. These are all the old aligners. And I don't know why I was holding on to this. I don't need this for any reason, so goodbye. And look at that, I already have a little pile of stuff that I've decluttered out, and now I'm moving into the bedroom here. I'm not gonna do Weston's vanity in there because he likes to do his own thing, and I totally respect that. Yes, you were sitting on a tripod in my bathtub, by the way. If it's an obvious like, oh, that is an empty bottle of shampoo, or that's like an empty Amazon box next to the bed, I can totally take care of that sort of thing, and that doesn't bother him, but he does like to do his own organizing and stuff like that. So I will let him, because I have plenty of other things to declutter and organize in this house. Starting with my little side table here and moving on into my office. Yes, you're seeing that right. I haven't made my bed today. Am I the only YouTuber who doesn't make their bed first thing in the morning? I have done most of my undecorating after Christmas, but there are still a few things around the house, like this Let's Mistletoe pillow that I put on our bed. Not decluttering this out, but I do need to find its home during the off season, which is in the Christmas tote. So I'm just gonna put that aside. Found it. Kids need lunch. Okay, lunch is done, and I have been sitting in my office, which still needs to be decluttered, and I wasted some time. Well, I guess it's not totally wasted. I started editing this video, you know, as an excuse to not get up and just get moving, because this space is overwhelming me so much. I think a lot of the time we see videos, especially like decluttering or organizing videos, and everything looks so simple to accomplish and so shiny, and I don't want to misrepresent how much work it actually takes to declutter. I try to give you like tips and tricks and steps to help lighten the burden, but it's still a burden to walk into a room that looks like a bomb went off during the holiday season and to try to figure out where to start. And I'm right there with you. I've literally been sitting for the last 25 minutes making excuses, and the hardest thing to get is going, and sometimes you just need a 3, 2, 1, get up off the chair. Setting a 10-minute timer can really help me get going. I want to accomplish all of this in 10 minutes. Think I can do it? Let's see. Not a beautiful or Pinterest-worthy office by any means, but it is functional. I was able to take some stuff out of here that just did not belong. This stuff has to go back out to the garage. I've got some gift stuff. I've got some gift wrap stuff. Can you tell we just came out of the holiday season? Looking good for now. Just needs a good vacuum in there. I have quite a bit of stuff that I found that I'm decluttering out. We have some recycling, an old tattered blanket that just doesn't have any good use. I'll probably take that to a local animal shelter. We have a perfectly good sound machine. However, in this house, we lose power all the time, and so we ended up getting the ones for the kids that have the battery backup. I'm gonna pass this on to one of my sisters who has a baby that could use a nice sound machine. Love the Hatch sound machines. They are by far the best, but that one I don't need anymore. It needs to go. A few other little odds and ends, packaging, stuff like that, some garbage from wrapping Christmas gifts. With the office being done and that only taking 10 minutes, it actually took less than that because I was able to pay a couple of bills, address a couple of envelopes. I'm feeling so much better, and I've got that decluttering ball start to roll here. I'm feeling like I can just keep working and keep conquering things like this closet. I'm not gonna spend too much time in here because I am going to do a total overhaul and like a closet clean out like I like to do seasonally. I need to do that for the winter, but I am just gonna pop in here really quick and find what I can super fast to grab out that I'm not gonna wear to put into a donation bag. Your room is atrocious? Do you want help cleaning it up, tidying it up? Okay, I'll help you. 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts, 2 bras. We'll call that good for today. I get questions all the time about how do you get your kids involved. I have a lot to say about that, but the one thing I will say in this video is follow their lead. If they show an interest, hey, are you flashing your light in your bedroom? If they show any sort of interest or desire or like a need, like Haley was saying, my room is atrocious. Well, you know what? Instead of decluttering in the order of rooms that I wanted to, I'm going to kind of take a little bunny trail here and start in Haley's room because she is eager to get this figured out. Apparently all of them are. Do you guys want to help declutter Haley's room?
No.
No, okay, you don't have to. I was wrong about that. Not going through her room with a fine-tooth comb. I can do closet cleanouts, I can do total toy overhauls anytime, but today we're focusing on the stuff that immediately stands out to us, and I actually think that's a really good way to do it with kids because it helps them really recognize the things that they don't like, and there's not this like really tough decision making. They go, don't play with that anymore, bye, or that's a literal piece of garbage, get it out of here, or that sweater doesn't fit me anymore, rather than going through every single piece and making them go through the process, the emotional process of making these tough decisions. Quick decluttering sessions with kids is where it's at. If it works for adults, it works even better for kids. And now it's time to do the same thing in the boys' room. I only film in my kids' rooms with their permission, and the boys aren't feeling it today, so I totally respect that. I will show you, however, what we come up with to take out of here. Okay, this is what we're adding to the pile from the boys' room. They're actually still working in there, so I might add a couple of things. Unfortunately, this FAO Schwartz, like, matte piano thing, it does not work very well. We got that for them this Christmas, and I bought it actually last year, so I'm outside of the return window. We used it for 2 days and then it totally broke. So unfortunately it has to go, along with this bee honeycomb lamp thing that's totally broken. We've got this set of puzzles, but we're missing so many pieces. There's just no point. So that's gonna get recycled. And then we have a bunch of clothing that they've outgrown that we're gonna bag up for the donation center.
Stand up and scared of the dark anymore. Time to donate it. You weren't scared last night.
So my kids' rooms is one of the places in the house that I feel least guilty about moving on from things and decluttering things. Because the reality is they outgrow clothing, they use toys that end up wearing out and breaking, or they outgrow toys and it's no longer at their skill or interest level. We try to be really conscious of the stuff that we are bringing into our house and consuming and choosing to own, but it doesn't matter. You can be the strictest minimalist and still have children grow and still have pantries of food that gets consumed. The whole notion that minimalists shouldn't buy anything is so ridiculously false because children grow and we need to eat. Also, we're human. Our interests change. Our season of life changes. Speaking of pantry, that is going to be picked up tomorrow. I've just about had it with decluttering. I skipped a lot because we worked a long time in the boys' room, but it's pretty late. It's time to start making dinner for today. So I'm gonna pick it back up tomorrow. I'm gonna keep this little pile of stuff. It's not a little pile anymore. It's definitely growing. The stuff that I've decluttered so far, and keep that by the front door because I like to show you what I decluttered out at the end of my whole house decluttering. So we worked on the bedrooms today, and tomorrow we're working on the kitchen and living spaces and the pantry. So I will see you then. Hello, hello. It's the next day, another decluttering session. I just have to say it was so nice this morning to wake up in a room that was decluttered, to step into an office that was decluttered, and it's making me want to get the rest of the house done. Here is the room. This is the laundry side. I have a load of whites soaking in bleach right there. That's why that's paused. I just need to tidy stuff up, find empty bottles, find things that I don't use anymore to declutter out. You know the drill. And then over on this side, I have some groceries to put away. The holidays definitely take a toll on a pantry or a kitchen just because there's extra stuff, there's weird items, and stuff is all a bit helter-skelter, including some random toys that don't actually belong in here. Okay. I will say the work that I put into initially setting up this pantry, doing a bunch of decluttering and organization in here has gone a long way to help us maintain the room itself as a whole. Right now, however, it just kind of looks like the holidays came in here and threw up all over it. So I just need to get everything back where it goes. We hosted people, I did stocking stuffers, so we have a lot of this sort of empty packaging stuff that I need to throw into the recycling pile. And then there might be a thing or two that I need to, oh yeah, move on from. Like these are full of MSG. I didn't realize it. And we really tried to cut that out of our diet. If something is unopened or perfectly good, I do donate to a local food shelter. And I probably have just a couple of things like that to do. So we're about halfway through this video. If you're enjoying it so far, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't gotten up yet to do any decluttering or cleaning, why don't you do that right now? We have about 10 or 15 minutes left in this video. So let's get some stuff done together. Into my laundry room. That feels so good. I definitely have a good collection. Most of this is food packaging and stuff. So I'm gonna separate the plastic out from the cardboard so that we can recycle appropriately. Gonna get that load starting again and move on to the kitchen, which I believe goes hand in hand with the pantry. So here's the deal in the kitchen. We have a kitchen remodel planned for this month. It's probably in the next few weeks or so, where we're ripping everything out and putting new stuff in. I actually shared the reason why we're doing this because this was unexpected. And then also the details of the new kitchen, the cabinet layout and the island that we're putting in, and all of the plans and dreams and schemes for it in another video, which I will link in the description box. And I keep telling myself like the motivation to get this kitchen decluttered is that in the end, I'm gonna have a really beautiful functional kitchen once we do the remodel, and everything that I declutter out today is just one less thing that I have to declutter or deal with when I'm packing up these cabinets before the demo starts. That's something that can be sort of a hang up for a lot of people. If you're moving, if you're remodeling, if you're changing your space or redoing things, you think, oh, I'll do all the decluttering when we get closer to it. But I'm here to tell you that there's no such thing as decluttering too early. Everything that I declutter today is one less thing I have to declutter tomorrow. That's my attitude toward it, and it's actually really helped me just get started and get going. So let's do that. Let's get started, let's get going and do this kitchen. Literally put this bag of candy popcorn in this cabinet the day we moved in. It is probably so stale by, let me try it. Still good. These actually don't belong with my everyday wear. They belong with my hostess wear, which I'll show you in a second. We recently upgraded our butter keeper. We used to have this one with this little wooden lid. We had this for years. It worked fine, but it was really frustrating that it always got grimy under here. And I feel like even though we do go through a lot of butter, the amount that this holds, it would just go rancid pretty quickly. So we upgraded to this one, which my mom had one of these. I think she still does. I grew up with this sort where there's a little bit of cold water in the bottom of this, and then it seals off the butter from going rancid, and the butter is just kept in this, and then you can put like this on the table and scoop butter out. It works beautifully and so much better. So I'm keeping this one because it works good, and we are donating this one. A few things from under the sink that are empty or I don't use anymore. So the cabinet you're sitting in right now is kind of our wraps cabinet. I have some Ziploc bags, some like parchment paper, aluminum foil. I have some of these silicone Ziploc bags, which work really well. What's not working really well is this. I really wanted this to work. This is like a Ziploc bag organizer. This is getting donated. I'll take the bags out of it that are in there. We don't go through very many Ziploc bags, but whenever I did reach for one, it just was a disappointment. It was more trouble than it's worth. I got a little pile, a little collection of stuff going on there that is gonna get decluttered out. I'm just gonna pop here to the little school room, like the kitchen nook area. See if I can just immediately find anything. I did a big declutter of our stuff before we moved, and then when I was setting this room up in here, which we actually have piles of. Our new flooring is under these tablecloths. We hid them for when we were hosting people on Christmas Eve, and that's where they ended up. So I've got this random thing. I think this is one of Weston's knee pads, but he upgraded to a better one for his job. I have an empty candle here that I can get rid of. Okay. I have this little stick-on a motion sensor light that hasn't worked since day one, so that can go. Goodbye. Inside the school cabinet itself, I'm not really seeing anything immediately that jumps out to me, and that's okay. Everything in there is really, it's quite curated already, so I'm just kind of grabbing at garbage and stuff. So I'm gonna add this stuff to my little growing pile. The dining room is just a table and chairs, so there's really nothing to declutter out of there. But this is, like I was saying before, part of my hostess wear collection. And right now I have totes underneath these tables here that holds all of that stuff. So my trays, servers, chafing dishes, little, you know, condiment bowls and stuff like that, charcuterie boards, pie servers, tongs, all of that stuff that we pretty much only use when we do have guests over. Focus camera, thank you. It is all just kind of under here. And the plan for this corner of our house is to have sort of like a buffet with cabinetry, upper and lower, possibly. And that's where I would store all of our serveware and dinnerware and stuff like that, so that it's easy to access and set up if we have unexpected guests. We don't have to go in and out to the garage on the other side of our yard to go, you know, get all of this stuff. So right now it's temporarily under these tables. So I think that's it for right now as far as the dining room, kitchen area goes. It's not perfect. This whole setup with these folding tables with black tablecloths over them, this is not ideal. And this stuff will definitely have to be moved out of here when our contractor comes to put in the new flooring for this area. There's not much I can do about it right now. Not like the kitchen. I am so glad that I found this stuff to declutter out, because like I said, it's all this less things to do when it does come time to do the demo in the kitchen. So now we're in the living room. Is there anything in my piano bench? Let's see. I don't use these beads. I got these for Christmas and they ended up not being what I wanted. So I think I'm gonna declutter these out. One more thing to the pile. And then we have our entertainment center, which is quite unorganized right now because we actually added a Nintendo Switch console to our collection. We have an Xbox, now we have a Nintendo Switch as well. And so there's odds and ends and random little pieces of this sort of thing, but we need this sort of thing. I just need to go in here and actually organize it. However, there are some things in here that we don't need, like my hot water bottle that has a crack in it. Why have I kept this? Goodbye. I have a bin of media stuff. Weston just got a new HDMI cable, and so I know the old one that we had, we don't need anymore because he got like a faster one, so this can go. I bought Weston a nice pair of blue light glasses for Christmas this year, so he no longer needs this pair that he has had taped together, so that can go. Then we have the game cabinet, which this thing, I think the bracket fell down, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But right off the bat, I can find this card game that we lost the other pieces to, so we can get rid of that. And that brings me to, as I scoot along the floor, that brings me to our blanket basket. We don't have a linen closet in this house, so linens and blankets and stuff have a different place than what's typical for me. I've had this blanket forever, but man, it is just like threadbare. I never reach for it anymore. And since it's still winter, we're keeping the Snoopy snow, what is he doing? He's having a snowball fight or building a snowman with wood stock, I think that's what it is. So we're not ready to quite put that away. That brings me to the wood stove, which is a daily declutter. You gotta shovel those ashes out, and I already did that today. So with that, I think we're done. Okay, definitely a good pile of stuff that we found to get rid of. More garbage this time than what's typical. And while we do try to reduce our waste, sometimes, especially after the holiday season, you just end up with a bunch of cardboard. Thankfully, we are able to recycle a good amount of this stuff, so that's good. I am so glad that I went through all of this today. The rooms that I worked in, the whole house feels so much better, so much more under control. I'm excited now to like scrub down my house and clean it and make it all shiny and nice. And that's a big thing that I have learned. Don't wait until your house is clean, like sparkly clean, before you do your decluttering, because stuff hinders the process of cleaning. The two jobs really do go hand in hand. It's like a symbiotic relationship. When you declutter, it makes cleaning easier, and when you clean stuff up, it makes you want to declutter more, and so it's just this nice little cycle that works to your benefit. I would much rather clean in a decluttered space than declutter in a clean space. I don't know, how do you feel? What would you do first? Would you clean or would you declutter? Decluttering is where it's at for me. So now I'm just going to go through everything and make a pile of garbage and a pile of donatables. Get donatables in the van and take it where it needs to go. Weston will take care of the garbage slash recyclables for us, but I feel like we're in a good place. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, coming along with me while I decluttered and did some gentle reorganization of my entire house. Give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Be sure to check out that printable that I have for you guys linked in the description box on my new blog, which I'm so excited to be launching very soon. I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of what you can expect over there with this little preview of a blog article content printable for you guys. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for spending a little part of your day here with me on my channel, and I'll catch you later.